Okay, so the directions for these problems say simplify. Anytime you see simplify, it means to combine like terms, do the distributive property, which we'll be learning tomorrow. Just make it a simpler expression, so a smaller one, less things in it. So this first one, I have 4x and I have negative 6x. This subtraction sign is the same thing as a negative. It goes with that 6x. So I can just pretend like I'm adding these together instead of having to do keep, change. And I have 4x plus negative 6x. I have more negatives than positives, and I have 2 more negatives than I have positives. So my answer is negative 2x. It says put a box around your answer, so I'm going to put a square around my answer, negative 2x for that one. Number 16, I know these aren't in order, but that's okay. 3m plus 4n minus 6n. I again have 2 like terms there, okay? I have 4n, positive 4n, because the addition sign makes it positive, and then negative 6n. So I can add those together. This has a different variable, it has an m instead of an n, so I can't do anything with that. So 3m won't change, but I do want to put them in alphabetical order in my answer. Since m comes before n, I can just go ahead and put 3m in my answer, and then I have to add 4n and negative 6n. I'm adding those two together. I have more negatives than positives. I have 2 more negatives than positives. So again, this is negative 2n. Whenever you get to this point where you don't have any more like terms or parentheses or multiplication or division, nothing besides just one term with a variable and another term with a different variable, that is your final answer. So I can go ahead and put a box around it. I'm gonna let you guys do 19 and 22 on your own. Try those because they're pretty similar to the first two. We're gonna go down here to 25 because we haven't seen the parentheses yet. Technically, the parentheses in order of operations, PEMDAS, parentheses are supposed to come first. But in the case of addition, order doesn't matter. So if I'm adding all of these together, the order doesn't matter. So instead of doing 3a minus b, because those aren't like terms, I can't subtract those, I can ignore the parentheses in this case and still combine positive 3a and positive 2a. That addition sign makes it positive. Negative b doesn't have a like term to combine it with, so I can go ahead and put that in my answer, negative b. And then 3a plus 2a, I'm just adding the coefficients together. 2 plus 3 is 5a. That's my final answer. I'm gonna let you try 28, 31, and 34 on your own. Just go ahead and circle any like terms that you have that you can combine together. Remember, they have to have the exact same variables. So like on this one, 3mn and negative 2mn would be able to be combined together, but 4m you can't because it doesn't have an n, so that will stay the same. Okay, we're gonna go down here to 24. If you wanna pause the video and just solve those right now and then, or wait till the end, that's fine. 24, I have 3y minus 4y squared plus 3y. I have to have the same variable, so the y, and the same exponent. This has an exponent of 2, so I can't combine it with 3y and 3y. So I'm just gonna circle this 3y and this 3y, both of them are positive, and then I'm gonna add those together. 3 plus 3 is 6, so I have 6y, and then I have negative 4y squared. We always want to put them in order of the highest exponents first. So negative 4y squared comes first in this case, and that subtraction sign makes it a negative 4y squared, okay? And because this was a positive and this is a positive, this is also a positive, which means we put an addition sign. Addition and positives are the same, just as subtraction and negatives are the same. That's my final answer because I can't combine y and y squared. Those aren't like terms, so that's my final answer. 27 is almost the exact same problem as that, so go ahead and do that one on your own. We'll go down here and do 33 together, and then I'm gonna let you do the rest on your own. So if you wanna pause the video and solve 27 and 30 right now, you can, or you can solve this one with me and then go back and solve the rest on your own. So in this problem, I have 11D, 5F, negative 21D, 5, and negative 8. These two numbers right here don't have variables, so we call them constants. So we can add those together because they're just regular numbers, and we know how to add regular numbers together. So I'm going to go ahead and circle positive 5 and negative 8. Again, we're adding these together using our integer addition rules. So I have positive 5 and negative 8. The signs are different. I have more negatives than positives, so my answer for that is going to be negative. And I have 1, 2, 3 more negatives than positives, so that's going to be a negative 3. Anytime it's a plain number like that, a constant, we put it in the last part of our final answer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there. And then I always want my variables in alphabetical order. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 11D and negative 21D, combine those first since they are alphabetically first. 11D and negative 21D. Again, we're adding those together. I have different signs, a negative and a positive, so I have more negatives than positives. So my answer is going to be a negative for that. And I have 10 more negatives than positives, so my answer is negative 10D. 5F doesn't have any like terms to combine with, so I just bring it over. It was positive over here because of the addition sign, so I bring the addition sign over, plus 5F. And then my constant, the negative 3 that we got, comes last, and I do subtracting 3. Again, the subtracting and the negative mean the same thing, so we don't need to put two signs, just one. And then I put a box around my answer. Go ahead and try the problems that you haven't completed yet on your own, and then raise your hand when you are done. And I can come around and check. If you need help before that, before you're done, I can come around and help you. Just make sure you are sitting in your seat and raising your hand to get help.